Hello, everyone, and we got some exciting news for you. Yes, the Solana domination continues. While everything was busy dropping the last few days, Solana shot above $200, surpassed BNB in market cap, is continuing to go up. Why is that? Because Solana dollar volume traded has actually surpassed Ethereum during this meme coin craze. That's right. Not just the number of transactions on Solana has surpassed Ethereum. That surpassed Ethereum a long time ago. But now the actual dollar volume being traded on Solana actually passed Ethereum this weekend. Now, Solana's not without its problems because as you can see, there were plenty of packet or data losses where the transactions failed and people had to do the transactions over again here when they hit kind of like, when they actually hit like 10,000 TPS or 10,000 TPS or more, 20,000 TPS or more during crunch times. But it actually went back pretty fast. After about 20 minutes, things resumed as normal. And right now, if you look at the Solana Block Explorer, it's functioning very well. And we are at 2,578 TPS, which is, roughly about 100 times faster than Ethereum. Of course, Ethereum Layer 2 is a different story, with Denkin upgrade especially, but a lot of the complaints for Ethereum are Layer 1, and a lot of the projects for Ethereum are Layer 1. So as long as you don't solve that problem, Solana will continue to increase in brilliance, or at least in usage. And a couple of things about this new Book of Memes coin. It wasn't actually just the founders of the coin that were doing all these transactions. So we all know that BOM in just 56 hours, a little bit more than 2 days, got to a market capitalization of $1.45 billion from zero. Now, we all know that's some manipulation, but if you actually thought that was only the founders trading, that is definitely not true, because Book of Memes did have thousands of transactions, even tens of thousands of transactions per second during its peak. So there were a lot of people trading Book of Memes, as well as other meme coins. And you know what? Even though there were transactions failing, it still is a lot smoother than Ethereum's Layer 1. So people who are using this are not going to go back to Ethereum, the people that have jumped over from Ethereum. And I do believe that Solana and BSC is actually sucking up a lot of the users from Ethereum. And that's why they're actually doing very well right now, because both Solana and BSC are fast and they are cheap. And in terms of packet losses, we've seen Ethereum do this before, but with Ethereum, it takes more than a couple of seconds of ping time. It's hours and days of ping time. So right now, people might be pissed off at Solana that for 20 minutes, the transactions were a little bit sketchy. But after that, they were able to work them just fine. And yeah, it's still way better than base layer Ethereum. Of course, base, layer 2 Ethereum, base, can process 2 million transactions per day without too much of an issue. But I think Solana's definitely reached a bottleneck at 10 to 20,000 transactions per day, especially if a lot of those are more complex transactions like swaps and such. But people are going to continue to use Solana right now. And they're probably trying to work up of some scaling solutions too, but 10 to 20,000 transactions per day, it's pretty hard to actually scale that at this point. So yeah, a lot of buys and basically billions of dollars worth of volume on Solana just on March 16th alone. And it basically eclipsed Ethereum's network by more than $1.1 billion. So both the DeFi on Solana and the overall dollar value on Solana has surpassed Ethereum this weekend. Now, it's probably temporary, but it just shows you how much clout a chain has if it's just cheap and fast. Doesn't have to have useful projects. Honestly, none of the blockchains have that many useful projects on them. And industrial utility in terms of companies using it are very, very low across Ethereum, Solana, whatever. They're mostly just DeFi. That's where all of Ethereum's value comes from as well, more or less. And Solana is taking a lot of that because it is cheap and fast. And you know what? Yes, it gets bottlenecked around 10, 20,000 TPS, but that's a lot better than 14 TPS. So I still think it's going to continue to absorb users. And if Solana can't handle it, BSC will be happy to step in. and take its place because of the DeFi and the smart contracts. Cardano should be absorbing some as well, but I think its ecosystem is less known. Avalanche is also doing very well. I think that's also absorbing some Ethereum users as well. So basically, people are looking for DEXs, and people are looking for swaps. People are looking for another chain that's cheap and fast. So I think layer 2s and these big layer 1s will definitely benefit from this fallout from these expensive fees that layer 1 Ethereum has. John Deaton is very, very confident in his Senate run. He has a $1 million campaign goal. Now, I actually don't think he will win the Massachusetts seat running as a Republican because that district is very heavily Democratic. That was like a Biden plus 30 district, so he's got his work cut out for him. But I do want him to show Elizabeth Warren that she is in danger from angering the crypto crowds, and I do think he will get significant votes. Now, a lot of the donations are probably going to come outside of his district, because I don't know how many crypto aficionados he has in his district, but he has a lot of other policy issues that some people might agree with on his district. He says, I can win. Some people mistakenly believe that Elizabeth Warren cannot be beaten in Massachusetts, and it's simply not true. I personally think it's much more likely that you primary her than you actually beat her in the general election. So he's put $500K of his own money because I know I can win. Please help me get to a 1 million by March 31st. So he is asking for political donations. Now, this is the one race where I hope that the Republican can actually beat the Democrat because of who is running. Not really a fan of Elizabeth Warren and her anti-crypto stance. Be great if we can get people like Elizabeth Warren and Brad Sherman out of Congress. But it is going to be excessively hard in this particular district because it is so heavily Democrat leaning. Remember, like Biden plus 36%, but it's not undoable. So hopefully he can actually beat Elizabeth Warren. Warren is also raising money. She's actually taking this challenge pretty seriously. But because of her brand name, obviously Deaton's really not known outside of crypto, and because of the basically the district's lean, it's going to be hard for Deaton. But I wish him the best of luck because I do really hope that he can actually win. Cardano has debuted USDM. Now, officially, they've started minting USDM at least a little bit. And they're going into the stablecoin market. Now, it's probably going to take a little while at least to get up and going. They're looking at on-ramps and off-ramps. They do need to get some off-ramps on exchanges. You are allowed to mint USDM by connecting your bank in 17 different states. I haven't been able to find a list of the states where you're able to mint USDM, but this should help Cardano DeFi a lot. Because, JED, major problem, it can't really expand. The heavy collateral requirement is going to keep it very small. And also, JED doesn't really have any off-ramps, and USDM is going to need off-ramps. So basically, eligible users seeking to mint USDM can do so without incurring fees. However, they will be subject to a 1.5% burn fee with a minimum fee of $50 and a maximum of $5,000. This means that users can mint USDM tokens without paying any upfront fees, aside from potential bank charges. However, redeeming US dollars for the USDM will incur a 1.5% fee. So if you want to trade USDM back into US dollars, there will be a 1.5% fee. Of course, you can just trade the USDM for crypto and then sell the crypto for dollars, which is kind of like the main issue. I do really hope they can reduce that fee because that is a pretty big fee. And like I said, I'd much rather just have USDC because USDC doesn't have to go around all this red tape that USDM does because it's not a completely developed stablecoin. It has to go through a lot of on-ramps and off-ramps, get a lot of the regulatory stuff. And the 17 states is just for minting USDM. It's not limited to use in those 17 states. And I'm sure they will get more states as well. So Cardano has been really looking forward to this for a while. If you want to look at the contract for USDM, I'll show it to you right now. It is this right here, policy ID, asset name, and you can see the asset. So Mehen founding founder Matthew Plowman said the road to launching the stablecoin on Cardano wasn't an easy one, with delays caused by issues with the U.S. banks in 2023. But you can link your bank now. Some people in Cardano are suspicious because of the KYC AML stuff. I understand that, but if you're going to make a fiat-based stablecoin and you want one on Cardano, you're going to have to go through all that stuff. I'm pretty sure that USDM will work like any other basically stablecoin, and it's going to be fairly centralized, is my guess. I don't really see how a fiat-backed stablecoin wouldn't be, because someone has to mint it and issue it and all that stuff. And they say that over 2,000 partners plan to integrate USDM on their platforms, which range from lending and borrowing protocols to decentralized exchanges. And Mehin noted it'll take 1 or 2 days for institutions to complete the onboarding process. So hopefully I'll give them like until the end of next week. We'll see if we get any off ramps and how much integration it'll do. They also need some centralized exchanges to adopt USDM pairs so we can actually trade out for cash, because that is very, very important. Of course, it's a very crowded market for stable coins, but it's good that Cardano has a stablecoin. Rather it be USDC, but USDM, we'll see what it can do, how much supply it can have, and how many people mint, because that is very, very important. So hopefully this gives Cardano the shot of liquidity it needs. That's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.